I wanted to share with you an article that I saw in one of the papers about a recent international TED conference. It was in Vancouver, BC, in the end of April. And one of the presentations focused on life improvements that we could adopt, think about to have better life. It was very interesting to read the explanations because these are so totally within our Buddhist worldview. It's quite interesting. So there were three of them. The first is face-to-face social interaction leads to a longer life. So smoking, drinking, exercise, even heart problems are not predictors of a person's longevity. A person's close relationships and social integration were. This is what a psychologist, Susan Pinker is her name, discovered in researching the impact that our human connections have on all aspects of our well-being, including our physical health. Those with intimacy in their lives, those with support systems and frequent face-to-face interactions were not only physically and emotionally healthier, but they lived longer. So she goes on to say that it's why women who tend to prioritize spending time with their friends more than men live an average of 6 years longer. And it's not enough just to text or email. The actual health benefits of socializing are only achieved through in-person contact. And she goes on to say that face-to-face contact releases a whole cascade of neurotransmitters, and like a vaccine, they protect you now and in the present, as well as into the future. And she says also that it doesn't even have to be long, close interactions to have immediate effect. Making eye contact, shaking someone's hand, giving someone a high five, lowers your cortisol levels and releases dopamine, making you less stressed and giving you a little high. Pinker showed two images of the brain, one someone conversing in person and another of someone watching a video of a person discussing the same subject. In the brain of the person interacting, regions associated with social intelligence and emotional reward lit up. This face-to-face contact, Dr. Pinker goes on to say, provides stunning benefits, but a quarter of the population say that they have no one to talk to. So it's something certainly we can do something about this, building in-person interactions in our cities, workplace, bolsters our immune system, sends positive hormones surging through our bloodstream and brain, helps us to live longer. So that's the first one. Second one is knowing when to turn off your smartphone enriches your life. So Adam Alter, a professor of marketing and psychology at New York University, told a room full of some of the most successful entrepreneurs, scientists, and tech innovators in the world about a German company that gives employees the option when they are on vacation to set their out-of-office response to tell the sender that their email will never be seen because it has been automatically deleted. The sender can email when the person is back from vacation. Or if it's a work emergency, contact someone else in the office. As Adam told this to the TED audience, they burst into applause. The idea of a vacation without interruption felt very novel. He studied the impact of all of our screen time is having on our lives. People who spend time on social networks, dating apps, and even online news sites report being less happy. And the technology has taken away what Alter calls our stopping cues. This is interesting. Most things that we do for pleasure, like reading a book or watching a movie, have an end. But scrolling on the phone is endless, and we don't know when to break away. So using a bar graph to illustrate this, Alter showed that in 2007, technology took up just a sliver of our precious personal time in a day. In 2017, it took up almost all of it. He also found that those who did set finite rules for their technology use, like never using it at the dinner table, putting it on airplane mode when you're out on the weekends, were able to enjoy life more. And then the third one is there's the phone. Huh? Then the third one is chasing meaning, not happiness, is what really matters. So the quest for happiness doesn't make us happy. In fact, Emily Isfahani Smith realized that constantly evaluating our own happiness is actually contributing to feelings of hopelessness and depression. Happiness is a fickle emotion, fleeting, based on a moment or an experience. What's really making us feel sad is not a lack of happiness, it's a lack of meaning. Smith, who authored this new book called The Power of Meaning, said that after 5 years of interviewing hundreds of people, she discovered that meaning can be derived in 4 forms: belonging, purpose, transcendence, and storytelling. The first is exactly like what it sounds, prioritizing the people in your life who truly love and care about you. The second is having a purpose. Most people find purpose through work because it's how we feel like we're adding value or contributing. But she said that also means disengagement at work, unemployment, low labor force participation. These aren't just economic problems, they are existential ones too. Without something worthwhile to do, people flounder. So finding something to drive you forward, whether it's work or something else, is crucial to having meaning. And then transcendence is about finding something that can take you outside of yourself, that can make you feel like you are a part of something bigger. And so, of course, spirituality, also art, she said, are the 2 things that can do that. And then storytelling, that's all about our personal narratives. What is the story we tell ourselves about ourselves? So we're the author of our stories, and we can change how we're telling them. And so really all of these 3 actions are so tied into what we have learned from what the Buddha tells us about finding contentment, happiness, satisfaction. And we can see that here, I think, at the Abbey when people come, especially for the longer retreats, and we ask them to put their phones away. We take their phones so that they don't have access to them. At first, they're freaking out and going through some kind of withdrawal, but you watch them over the time they're here and they get happier, really, to not have that burden of, looking. And it's such a addictive process, it seems like. And so let's turn the phones off. Let's unplug. Let's think about looking into someone's eyes and speaking to them instead of all of this technology stuff that keeps us separate, distant, isolated, and often with our own minds, which are not always so wonderful to listen to and stay with. So, and if we think about, what we're thinking about all the time, then let's also put in our minds some positive thoughts and seeing the good qualities of people instead of criticizing them all the time. If we focus on just these 3 simple little things, life will be more rich. We will be happier. And so let's try to do that.